The Last Mission, A Journey Through Time, Part 2. The Earth Coalition, made up of countries from all of the world, selected Minot to be the site to begin the transformation of human society. The Greys came as friends, vowing to bring peace and technology to the people of Earth. Technology to reach the stars. Technology to combat climate change. Technology to improve lives. Governments were quick to negotiate a deal to exchange delegations and begin negotiations. As the Greys enslaved what few humans remained from the devastation, a handful of guerrilla fighters and scientists remained. Stolen portal data allowed them to develop a way to construct a portal. But travel was limited to the traveler's lifetime and only worked in one direction. The past. I have a plan. Go right and follow my lead when we get through. A murmur of excitement filled the hangar as the contact team gathered near the portal. Away from the group, Jack and Alex checked their packs. Grenades, C4, compact assault rifle ready to assemble, and plenty of ammo. A Sig Sauer P320 and Carbar 1217 combat knife hung at their sides. And one special weapon, a miniaturized tactical nuke. It begins. The static shock jolted him as he stumbled through the portal. Small compared to the hangar, the portal room held various sizes of equipment, crates, and machines of war. Control stations sat near the back of the room. Aliens scurried about, getting ready to receive their first prisoners. The contact team. Black openings gaped in along the walls leading to other areas of the vast complex. Black uniforms of the Grey soldiers greeted them. Jack took a breath of the humid air. Jack and Alex pulled out retractable batons as Jack dropped a smoke grenade behind the portal. He nodded and touched Alex on the shoulder. Smoke filled the area. Jack and Alex struck the confused guards on either side, taking him out in a few swift blows honed from years of training. Alex may be small, but she was battle-hardened. They ran behind stacked crates as soldiers swarmed to the portal. Circling around the waiting crates and military equipment, they headed for one of the openings, now without any guards who swarmed to the portal. From past missions, Jack knew just opening to take. The long hallway mimicked the light of the Greys homeward, subdued with a reddish tinge. They cautiously headed down the hall, stopping at each crossing where side corridors awaited. Halfway down the long corridor, they stopped before a silver door. Jack placed his phone against the keypad and clicked on one of his apps. The door slid open without a sound. The room inside held more crates and boxes of Grey weapons and supplies. Jack opened one of the crates and withdrew 2 blaster energy magazines. If they were successful and made it back, it would prove their story. Jack placed the map of the complex on one of the crates and explained what he had in mind. Alex nodded and then looked at Jack, fear in her eyes. This was their last chance and she knew it. They removed their assault rifles from their backpacks and assembled them, loading a high-capacity magazine in both. Checking their remaining weapons, they made sure each was ready. Alex looked at her phone. It was down to 25%. She needed at least 20% to accomplish their task. They exited the storeroom and began down the hall. They had only 20 minutes while the Grey soldiers were in a briefing to insert the virus into the system. Coming to the first side corridor, they stopped and peered around the corner. A Grey soldier was walking towards them, blaster drawn. It stopped at every door, opened them, and looked inside. It was searching. The two were spotted as they tried to stealthily cross the juncture. This hadn't happened on the previous mission. Their timing was off. The alien drew its weapon and ran down the corridor, chasing Jack and Alex. Jack pointed at the next side corridor as a blue energy blast struck the wall ahead. For all their advanced technology, the Greys relied on sheer destructive power instead of accuracy. The small Greys could not outrun a human and they began to widen the gap. Alex thought they were in the clear as they approached the refuge of the next intersection. As they rounded the corner, they came face to face with another Grey, its blaster drawn and pointed directly at them. The pair stopped, facing the alien. Hands up. They were captured. Jack looked down and then spun around, sweeping with his leg, taking down the soldier behind him and drawing his knife. He plunged his knife into the gray's soft skull. Meanwhile, Alex struck the soldier in front of her with a killing blow to the neck. The gray's head snapped back and the body fell to the ground. The two dragged the aliens into the nearest storeroom and hid the bodies behind a stack of boxes. Taking a few moments to gather themselves, they removed the blasters from the bodies and turned to the door. Carefully moving down the rest of the hallway, they finally arrived at the Grey's control room. From past missions, Jack knew most of the guards were in a briefing on their invasion plans. They screwed silencers onto their rifles and took aim at the nearest guards. They only needed to get to one console and needed just a few minutes. In 3, Jack said, 1, 2, 3. The two Greys fell. It took just a few seconds for the other guards to react and begin shooting towards the two. Jack laid suppression fire, taking out two aliens. Alex crawled to the nearest console and threw its occupant to the ground using her knife to slash its throat. The guards seemed reluctant to fire at her that near the equipment. She pulled the cords from her backpack and plugged one end into the data port and the other into the phone. Pressing the app on her phone, the process began. It would take 2 minutes plus a 30-second window for them to return via the portal. Jack took out two more of the alien guards. The sound of running feet caused him to turn. A squad of aliens were coming the corridor that they had come from. The grenade he threw rocked the room as the corridor ceiling collapsed. Dodging energy blasts, he took up a position near Alex and continued to pick off the alien guards. The phone pinged. The download was complete. Jack grabbed Alex by the arm and pulled her towards the nearest vehicle, using it for cover as the guards continued firing. Hopping from vehicle to crates and backfiring as they went, they made their way to the portal. A small alien tank was not unlike human tanks, although much smaller and more potent. The machine sat in line to be the first instrument of war to go through. Jack dropped down into the too small compartment. Not enough room for two. So, Alex stood in the hatch firing at the approaching Greys. Removing the nuke from his backpack, he set it for 15 seconds. An alarm sounded on his phone. Time was up. 30 seconds before the virus took effect. He moved the machine through the portal, still taking alien fire. Energy blasts pinged off the surface of the vehicle as Alex tossed the nuke back through as it began to close. A last energy bolt emerged from the dimming shimmer. She took the hit in the chest. "Alex, you okay?" Jack looked up, see Alex slumped over and blood running down from her now lifeless body. Jack detailed his travels through time to military during his debrief. If he hadn't brought the tank, blaster, and power packs back, no one would have believed him. They had no choice to take him seriously as he continued explaining his last mission and the horror that would have resulted if they failed. Alex was awarded a Purple Heart and now lay in Arlington. A month later, Jack sat on the beach as his wife and daughter enjoying the sunshine and calming sound of the waves. Popping the tab of a can of cold Coke, he kissed his wife. It was good to be home. He thought about Alex, the last casualty of a war that would now never come. The enemy would regroup, but he had bought some time for the world to prepare for a future invasion. They could reverse engineer the alien craft and weapons. An invasion that would ultimately come.
Subscribe, like, and comment. Watch these videos next.